Today we're going to be talking about polynomial long division. Fair warning, polynomial long division has quite a few steps. We're going to take things very slowly, and it's very procedural once you get into it. So you might have done long division back when you were in elementary school, and that was when you had things that looked like this. We are going to do the same idea though with polynomials, meaning things that have more than one term divided by something else that has more than one term. So your problems for these are always going to start out looking like this, where you have one polynomial in one set of parentheses divided by another polynomial. So our first step for these is always to set up as long division. I didn't write that in our kind of cheat sheet here because you only do that once at the beginning. When I set it up as long division, I'm going to use that division bracket like you saw a second ago. Whatever is after the division sign, our divisor, goes on the outside. Whatever is before the division sign or dividend goes on the inside. So yay, we have the first step done. Good. From here, there are 4 basic steps that we're going to do, usually more than once, to complete these problems. So I have them kind of in very short terms written here. I'll explain them more as we go. So now that I have it set up as long division, my first thing I'm going to do is going to divide. What I mean by that is I'm going to divide the first term here by the first term here. Everything I write right here is part of how we get our answer. Stuff I do here is going to be kind of side work that you don't have to do, but just so you see where things are coming from. So I'm thinking, how many times can x go into 10x squared? Or more formally, what is 10x squared divided by x? Well, we know it'll just be 10. X squared divided by x is just x. So I get 10x when I divide. You are going to put that up top on top of your division sign there. Once you have divided, the next thing you do is multiply. And what I mean by that is we are going to take that 10x we just got and multiply it by our divisor. Again, this is all extra work you don't need to write. I'm just showing you where things are coming from. So I'm going to do 10x times x minus 7. 10x times x is 10x squared. 10x times negative 7 is negative 70x. And we take that answer and put it underneath the dividend. Notice I've lined up like terms. Once I've multiplied, I then subtract everything I just multiplied. So this minus sign goes to everything on the inside here. 10x squared minus 10x squared, those cancel. That is good, that's what we need to happen. And then here, negative 73 minus negative 70x. Remember that a double negative is like adding, so I'm going to get negative 3x when I subtract. I am well on my way to being done. Once we have divided, multiplied, subtracted, the next thing we do is we bring down the next term that hasn't been used. So I've used this 10x, I've subtracted from this negative 73x. I haven't used that plus 21 yet, so now I'm going to bring down plus 21. From here, I'm going to do the same process all over again. So I'm going to divide. What is negative 3x divided by x? When I do that, the x's cancel, I get just negative 3. Just like the before, whatever we get from when we divide goes up top. Now, I've divided, I multiply. I'm going to multiply negative 3 times what I'm dividing by, the outside stuff, if you will. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 7 is positive 21. After we multiply, we subtract. So, oops, dropped a marker, it's okay. Subtracting this whole thing. Negative 3x, watch out, we have a lot of double negatives here. So I have negative 3x minus negative 3x. Double negative is like adding. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0, so those cancel, which we want. 21 minus 21 also cancels, so I get a grand total of 0. That means that I have no remainder, there's nothing left over when I divide, and that's what's going to happen with everything we're going to see today. So, now that I've used everything in my problem, I've done all my subtracting, I got a 0. You won't always get that, but for today it'll always be a 0. I am completely finished. So you're thinking, okay, well what the heck is my answer? Your answer is just whatever you had up top. So our answer to this problem is 10x minus 3. Or another way you can think of that is if I do 10x squared minus 73x plus 21 divided by x minus 7, I get 10x minus 3. So that's the process. Again, a lot of steps, but nothing we can't handle because we're smart. We've got this. Basically, as you can see, we were kind of building our answer as we went. The work we did here just kind of kept track of all of our operations. When you are doing these, you do not need to write all this side work. I was just doing it so you could see where everything here was coming from. Let's try one more. Let's try this other problem. Notice that this has 1, 2, 3, 4 terms to start with it, whereas this one has 1, 2, 3. So this one will take us a smidgen longer just because there's more things that need divided to be starting with. So, once again, the very first thing you do is you set it up as a long division problem. Whatever you're dividing by, in this case m minus 7 goes on the outside. Whatever is being divided, all of this fun stuff goes on the inside. Okay, so I think getting started is always the hardest part. You can use your little cheat sheet here. We always start by dividing. Divide first term by first term. So what is m to the third divided by m? Thinking back to your exponent rules, you're just subtracting 3 minus 1 gives me 2, so I get m squared. We put that m squared on top. Once we have whatever goes on top, we multiply it by whatever we're dividing by. So I'm thinking m squared times all of this, m minus 7. M squared times m is m to the third. M squared times negative 7 is negative 7m squared. Once you've done your multiplying, you subtract. I'm subtracting the whole shebang here. M to the third minus m to the third. Remember that minus sign goes to everything here. They cancel. Good news. 2m squared, we've got a double negative here, minus negative 7m squared. Double negative is like adding. I get positive 9m squared. The next thing I need to do, I've done my subtracting, I bring down the next term that hasn't been used. So we've used this m cubed, we've used this 2m squared, we have not used negative 56m. So that gets brought down next. There's still a minus 49 here, don't worry about that yet. So now, we divide. 9m squared divided by m. When I do that, the 9 stays the same. M squared divided by m is just regular m. So plus 9m, since it's positive, goes up top. You always need a plus or minus sign in between every term. Okay, we've divided, now we multiply. I'm going to multiply this 9m by my outside stuff. 9m times m is 9m squared. 9m times negative 7 is negative 63m. Now that I've done my multiplying, I subtract the whole thing. 9m squared minus 9m squared, those cancel. Negative 56 minus negative 63, again we got a double negative. Double negative is like adding. Negative 56 plus 63 equals 7m. So 7m goes here. At this point in time, are we done yet? We are not done yet because we still have something to bring down. This minus 49 has not been messed with yet, so we bring that down. But notice, it's the last term we have that hasn't been brought down yet. So that means this will be the last step in our division. We're almost there. So, back to the top. We divide 7m divided by m. M's cancel, we get just 7. So that's a positive 7, we put plus 7 up top. Now we multiply that 7 times our outside stuff. So this is what we're thinking. 7 times m is 7m. 7 times negative 7 is negative 49. I now subtract the whole thing. 7m minus 7m, that's easy, that cancels. Negative 49 minus a negative is like adding. So negative 49 minus a negative 49 is like adding. Negative 49 plus 49 is 0. So I get a 0 here, which means everything canceled. I have no remainder. This divides evenly. That's another way to think of that. So our final answer is all those terms we wrote up top as we were going. You're building your answers or went. Our final answer is m squared plus 9m plus 7. We will keep doing a few more of these just to make sure we're really, really awesome at it. Not something that we will be doing all day, every day, the rest of the year, but a good skill to know. Something to watch out for. If you start getting crazy big numbers when you're subtracting, that means probably you made a mistake with a sign here. So like for instance here, if we would have missed our double negative, we would have been thinking negative 56 minus 63, we would have gotten a 3-digit number there. Large 2-digit numbers, 3-digit numbers are usually a sign that you've made a mistake somewhere. As always, I'm happy to help you with any questions you might have about this. Hopefully now you're getting a good feel for the polynomial long division. Have a wonderful day.